I think Dennis's thought was, hey, he's here. I can keep an eye on him. It's closer here, right? And I originally wanted him to come in on Sunday at the latest. And but Dennis was kind of like, he's here, he's settled in. We're only a few hours away, which I thought, okay, I get it. But at the end of the day, you still got to go to the grocery store and get this and that and get running around. And it's stressful. You know what I mean?
Well, that story kind of backfired on you, huh, Dennis?
Get there, you still got to run around and get your food and get settled in and all of this kind of stuff. You got to kind of, you're out of your element. So you're trying to get kind of in sync, and all laid out. They didn't get there until Tuesday evening. And so we're trying to run around and get everything done. He's training at 1 o'clock in the morning. He's trying to rest, but now we're getting ready to go into the week. So we have the athletes meeting and we have all this kind of stuff. We're still training late. So we were all over the place. What ends up happening, one of the worst kind of problems that we had.
All right, so typically bodybuilders usually arrive about 5 to 7 days before a bodybuilding show, so they get used to where they are, and their body has to adjust to the temperature, the weather, the humidity, everything. You gotta find a grocery store, you gotta find a gym, you gotta set up your little kitchen if you're in a hotel room. There's a lot to get organized. So that's why you need time. Plus the athletes meeting, all the press you have to do before the show, especially a show like the Olympia. This is one of the reasons why Big Rami's cortisol was through the roof and he was stressing really hard. And it caused him to be constipated. So this is what Chad had to say about that.
Rami starts getting stressed out. It just kind of is like he kind of goes off, and it just kind of everything kind of goes off. Yes, and so what ended up happening was he hadn't went to the bathroom since Monday. Before the show. And so
suppositories. I used to live on those things before a bodybuilding show because I had the same issue. Now, I wasn't stressed at all, but when I started minimizing my water intake, 0 bathroom movements, like 0. And I unfortunately had to shove those suppositories up, all the time for bodybuilding shows. And it was very uncomfortable. And honestly, it was the worst part of peak week, not being able to go to the bathroom because it hurt. And you got distended, and you got bloated. And as soon as you go to the bathroom, you're like shredded.
So we keep thinking like, okay, everything's going to go. And we're taking things to make sure that he can go to the bathroom. And we're banking on the fact that he's going to go to the bathroom. He doesn't end up going to the bathroom until 2 hours before prejudging, which ended up becoming a disaster for us.
Now, if you ever done a show before, keeping your bowel movements correct is more important than anything. Because if you're not going to the bathroom, you're gonna have some serious issues peaking your body. And there's just one more thing before we go. Take a listen to what Chad had to say about Dennis James not bringing Rami earlier. Because remember, Rami was staying in Arizona at Dennis James' house weeks before the Olympia. So he wasn't overseas, he was only 1 state away. But why did Dennis hold him back?
Wait a second. Did I catch that right? He came in the Tuesday before the show?
Tuesday before the show.
Yeah, it's too late.
Fly in from? Where did he fly in from?
So he was in Phoenix, and so that was why they kind of decided to do that. Because obviously, it's only, it's not that far. And so, I think Dennis's thought was, hey, he's here. I can keep an eye on him. It's closer here, right? And I originally wanted him to come in on Sunday at the latest. And but Dennis was kind of like, he's here, he's settled in. We're only a few hours away, which I thought, okay, I get it. But at the end of the day, you still got to go to the grocery store and get this and that and get running around. And it's stressful. You know what I mean?
So the icing on the cake to this whole entire story, right? I don't know if you guys remember, but when Dennis James spoke about Big Rami's placing, he said, I have nothing to do with Big Rami's placing. Chad's the coach. He's in the driver's seat. I don't make any decisions. Well, that story kind of backfired on you, huh, Dennis? Chad is not trying to throw Dennis under the bus, but since I know the entire story, and I remember what Dennis said a few months ago, I'm telling you right now, Dennis making that decision to hold back Rami was a really bad idea and could have cost Big Rami the title.